So I mean, I think just as a whole people, I think we all can do better, and I think it starts with the man in the home. I think a lot of times we blame the police, we blame the government, we blame the city council. All those things are good to hold those people accountable, but we need to hold the men accountable for their responsibility for their children. Starting off in the home. That's the one thing that the Lord convicted me about, is when after Eve sinned in the garden, he did not call Eve, he called Adam. He says, Adam, where are you? That changed the trajectory of my life as a man, is that we need to go back to holding men accountable for their actions. You know, we talked about this whole R. Kelly thing and all that earlier, just like going back to holding the man accountable for his actions. Man, that's a great question. To be honest, and I just want to give just thankfulness to God, because a lot of times, you know, especially in our context, people they hate on the church, and a lot of people are angry at the church. But actually, the church was a great blessing in my life. I actually learned how to be a father and a husband by my local church. So seeing men who've been married for 40, 50 years to one wife, seeing men who a father's dead and the daughter's dead, and they're both serving in ministry. That's what really helped me to learn what a father is. And of course, it's just a lot of trial and error. Even to this day, I have a 15-year-old daughter who'll be 16, and there's times where you have to, humble yourself. And I had this talk with my daughter that, hey baby, just as hard as it is for you as 15 to be a 15-year-old, and you're still learning, I'm still learning as a father at 39 years old.
And it's so big that you realize that.
Yeah. So I said, please show me grace as I'm trying to show you grace. And I'm going to be 40 years old this summer, and I'm still learning what does it look like to be a father. And not just so there's a difference though, brother. I want to say this. There's a difference between just being a father and being a father who's engaged.
Describe that.
So yeah, you could be in the home, but not in somebody's life.
Come on, boy. You better say it.
Yeah. So let me say it again. You could be in the home, but you also cannot be in their life. So it takes both. You should be in the home, but also in that person's life, and not just buying them a bunch of J's and high heels.
Of course. Don't people do that? Don't fathers do that?
And I'm not gonna judge, because I did that. When I first even became a Christian, and I was still trying to learn, reading the scriptures and just seeing that. Ultimately, yeah, that kids like good gifts and take them out to dates and stuff like that, but they want you. But a lot of times, as we were talking off camera, I think a lot of times it's that cycle of, if I'm broken, I don't know how to give somebody my all, because I'm broken myself. And so I think that's where grace comes in, is that we have to humble ourselves enough to say, tear down the pride and say, I don't know how to be a father. And when I first came to Christ, that's one of the things that the Lord showed me, was I was trying to be a father in my own strength and what I seen from my stepdad or my father before I died, and it was failing. And so it had to come to a point where, man, it was just me and the Lord, and I just said, Lord, and this is humbling at 23 years old. God, I don't know how to be a father. Like, I had to literally say, I don't know what I'm doing. And so until you humble yourself, man, and just admit to the Lord, or a lot of times you hear the phrase, I'm a product of my environment. I have a phrase I say, I'm a product of grace in the midst of death. And so, just a lot of people despise their past. They're scared of their past. And I used to too, because maybe in the past they had a lot of drugs, or a lot of abuse, a lot of sexual abuse, emotional abuse. And they're scared of that. But those who can know Christ, the beauty of it is that God can take, filth and brokenness and turn it into praise and beauty, and use it to help other people. That's the thing. My suffering is not for me. It's actually for the person who's suffering. So yeah, man, that's what I see about this world and life. And to know that true life is Christ. Christ, He is life. He is true life. I want to encourage the body of Christ. I want to encourage the church, the true church, the evangelical church to, of course, evangelize across the seas. But also I want to challenge us as the people of God to not just minister to across the seas, but to minister to across the street. A lot of times I have this phrase, don't get on the airplane if you haven't get on the bus. And so a lot of times it looks good to go to Africa and Asia and take the picture on Instagram and say, hey, look, I'm doing ministry. But yet we will not feed the homeless down the street in our own community. So I want to challenge the people of God to be effective in your home first, and then on your block, whatever your block looks like, trailer park, you know what I'm saying, the suburbs, hood, wherever you live at, to be challenged to be a missionary wherever you live. That's my encouragement to the church.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.